It's more than likely the PM is going to be police interviewed about the Downing Street drinks gathering on the 20th of May 2020 based on his own statement of the 12th of January, where he put forward a defence denying he broke COVID laws because he thought it was a work event. So here's a 4-point strategy the PM, with his lawyers, will probably employ to deal with 4 problems, which are likely to rise in his police interview to persuade the police not to prosecute him for breaking the law. The first problem is, do the police know what the law was in May 2020? The strategy here is to remind the police at the time COVID laws did not make it an offence to organise and facilitate an illegal gathering. Remember those £10,000 fines? But it was an offence to knowingly attend without a reasonable excuse such a gathering. The second problem is, how does the PM avoid the suggestion he organised the gathering, which would undermine his belief he thought it was a work event when he entered the garden? The email invite sent by his private secretary to over 100 staffers is pretty clear that the garden gathering wasn't a work-related event, because the email says this: we thought it would be nice to make the most of the lovely weather, and later bring your booze. So the strategy here is, as reported and assuming it's true, to continue to distance himself from the author of the email and the knowledge of its content. The third problem is, how does he explain to the police why he remained for 25 minutes outside in the illegal gathering and what his reasonable excuse was? In response, his strategy here is, as he has said, he remained outside to thank groups of staffers, and this is a brilliant explanation. If there are any photos of him mingling with the staff, assuming it's true, he can continue to say in his police interview he was thanking each of them personally. Probably the biggest problem for the PM in a police interview is, how does he explain why he did not stop a clearly illegal drinks gathering to avoid the suggestion he later became an illegal attendee without reasonable excuse to remain outside in the garden when he wasn't thanking staff. The police are likely to say those who attended the garden booze party, that is the staffers, didn't have a reasonable excuse from the beginning based on the email invite. Now the PM tried to defend his action by saying the following: with hindsight, I should have sent everyone back inside. I should have found some other way to thank them. The police would likely see this as an admission of guilt and challenge him by saying, if you thought you should have sent them inside, why didn't you? If it wasn't for the fact you knew it was an illegal gathering. I think a better strategy for the PM is for him to own the problem and say, yes, I later knew it was an illegal gathering and apologise for remaining as an attendee, to persuade the police that this is a minor breach of the criminal law, so not to issue a fixed penalty notice or to take matters to court. But I think, for obvious reasons, admitting to the offence or even saying no comment would be a political suicide for him. In the end, I have to say, looking at the current mood of the public, defending Boris Johnson may be easier in the court of law than in the court of public opinion. Thanks for watching.